Keaton Beach, a community that's weathered storms for decades.
You learn from each storm and decide how you're going to prepare.
Storms, including Hurricane Idalia. 6 months after Idalia made landfall right here, this community on the Taylor County coast is still rebuilding. I'm Channing Frampton in the Keaton Beach neighborhood. The morning of August 30th, 2023, the land I'm sitting on was under almost 10 feet of water. And while Appalachia Bay is back to relatively normal levels now along the Taylor County coast, neighbors here are still reeling from that historic storm. August 30th, 2023. At 7:45 a.m. First to know, Chief Meteorologist Casanova Nurse making the call that still echoes along the Taylor County coast 6 months later.
And there was some damage and a lot of work to be done, but yeah, very grateful.
Grateful to still have a home. Spiridon Abajeris lives here in Keaton Beach.
I've been here 40 years.
His house sits right on the water. He helps with the family business, Old Pavilion RV Campground. If he looks familiar, ABC 27 interviewed him live in Perry the morning Idalia made landfall.
But you don't want to go too far from home, because then what if you can't get back?
People hear Keaton Beach landfall, they assume, oh, they're going to be hurting for a while, but it looks like things are back to normal here.
Yes, very much so. It took us a couple of weeks to get up and going.
6 months after the storm, they say they are still trying to fill some of these lots. They've got 40 of them total on the property. Just up the road in Steinhatchee, businesses and homes are still in recovery. Do you remember that morning as it was approaching?
Absolutely. About 2-3 a.m. in the morning, my wife was sitting in the recliner in tears once the hurricane hit a Cat 4.
Shannon Wyrick Jr. owns and operates Puddin's Hatch Wagons. That must have been tough.
Yeah, it was, you never know what to expect.
His business was spared, but he took me on a tour of what his neighbors are still dealing with. And you're saying this is an area where there was debris just piled on both sides of the road?
Yeah, on both sides of the road. It was 6, 8, 10 foot high.
While that debris is gone from the streets, in some of the homes in his neighborhood, the damage can still be found. Wyrick took me inside one of those homes. And you can see there's still some silt left behind from that storm surge that pushed into Steinhatchee. In houses that haven't really been touched yet, there's still a water line from how high that salt water got inside the home.
That's tore down.
Despite the damage here, Wyrick says he's got faith that this community will move beyond the storm.
As far as Steinhatchee, we will always and will, have been Steinhatchee strong. I have never been a part of a community that's come together as tight-knit as this community has and helped everybody.
Hoping tourists who drive so much of this area's economy will return in the months ahead. It's a hope shared all along the Taylor County coast.
The storm comes and the storm goes, and you come back and you fish and you enjoy what we have.
When Idalia came on shore 6 months ago, it did so during low tide. Had it come in 6 hours later during high tide, the water could have been 3 to 4 feet higher. Hurricane season starts June 1st, and people in this neighborhood will be keeping a close eye on Appalachia Bay. In the Keaton Beach neighborhood, I'm Channing Frampton, ABC 27.